Okay, good morning everyone. We are starting off our Tuesday's maths lesson with another round of mental maths. So, if you want some time to do your working out, then you can pause the video after every question. But really, in mental maths, we should be working to do things in our head as quickly as possible. Finding the best method. Okay, here we go. Number 1. What is 0.8 times 3? Number 2. What is 8 divided by 100? Clue, I don't want to see a bus stop method. No, no, no. Number 3, how many days are in May, the month that we're in now? Number 4, double 2,370. Number 5, half 56. Okay, so here we go with the answers. So number 1, if you know, my pen's not very good, what 8 times 3 is, just to see if the green, there, the green works better. If you know what 8 times 3 is, which is 24, okay, you can see that 0.8 is 10 times smaller than 8. So you need to make your answer 10 times smaller, 2.4. 8 divided by 100, okay, so I said not to use any bus stop. So if you did the grid that we taught you, and you put 8 into your grid. Now we're making it 100 times smaller. So we're going to be moving our 8 2 places to the right because we're going towards the decimals. So 1, 2, your 8 goes there. Don't forget your placeholders. So you should have got 0.08. Okay, how many days are in May? I used to learn my months and how many days in each month with a little rhyme. If you don't have a rhyme, or some people like to use their knuckles, whatever way is easiest for you to remember, then just learn that way. So how many days in May? There are 31. Double 2,370. Well, I know that double 2,300 is 4,600. Double my 70 is 140. Add it all up, we should have got 4,740. And the last one, half of 56. Okay, so you're splitting it into 2. So I would split my 50 in half, which you know is 25. Split my 6 in half, which you know is 3. Add them up and you should have got 28. Okay, so you can mark your own. Did you get 5 out of 5? Okay, so we're going to move on from perimeter now, and we are going to be looking at the area of different shapes. We're going to start with rectangles because they're the easiest, and you have done this in year 5 and year 6, so it's just going to be a simple recap. So first of all, what is area? Okay, we know that perimeter is the edge of the shape all the way around the edge and the outside of the shape. Area is going to be the opposite. It's going to be the inside of the shape. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the area inside of different rectangles. Okay, let me show you how it works. So here we have an upside down trapezium. And on my maths in part 1, it is asking you to work out the area, so the inside, how much is shaded in orange of this shape. Okay, so you've got to use the graph that the shape is on. So this graph is split into squares, okay, a bit like graph paper that you can see sometimes. And each of these squares is worth 1 centimetre, okay? So this is how you go about working out how many squares is covered inside this shape. So we've got 1 full square, 2 full squares, 3, 4, 5 full squares, 6, 7, 8 full squares. I'm going to make a note of that. I have counted 8 full little centimetre squares. Okay, don't forget now the little bits at the end. So we've got half a square here, if you look at this square, you've actually got it cut in half there. So you've got this triangle that makes half a square, and you've got another half a square, okay, which makes a full square. So 2 halves make that full square. So we've made another one, and at the other side, we've got 2 halves to make another one. Yes, if you add all these little parts up, it equals 10 centimetres. And now don't forget to add the squared on, because we're working out the area of the shape. Perimeter is just centimetres. Area, we're working in centimetres squared. Okay? Now, the next part, let's have a look. Okay, slightly different. So this one is different because the squares have been taken away. Okay, you've got to imagine that these centimetre squares are hidden behind. So if this was 8 centimetres long, you've got to imagine, okay, that you've got, I'll try and do this best I can. One, two, three, four, whoops, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see the idea. You've got to imagine you've got 8 centimetres, 8 of those little squares along, okay? Now, it's 3 centimetres going upwards, okay? So you've got to imagine they've got this 3 times. You've got 3 rows, okay? So it would look something, I know it's a bit wonky, just bear with me. You get the idea. Would look something like this. Okay? So you've got 8 centimetres going across and it's going up into 3 rows. So rather than just counting them, okay, as before when we just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in year 6, we know our 8 times table. So we know we've got 8 there. Another lot of 8 would be 16. And another lot of 8 would be 24. So all we're doing there is 8 times by 3 rows up. Okay? So in your answer, you would just type in there 24, and they've already got centimetres squared for you. Okay? So all you're doing is doing the base, the length here, multiplied by the height, the width there. Okay? And that's it. This is where your TT rock stars and your multiplication times tables comes in really, really handy. I'm just showing you here why, it's important to know why we times the 2 sides, okay? We don't just want to learn the rule. Oh yeah, with rectangles, we just times the length and the width. We need to be understanding why we're doing that, and that is why, okay? So let's look at one final one here. So this time you've actually been given the area. So it's telling you that this rectangle is made up of 40 centimetres squared. So you've got to imagine 40 of those squares, okay? And it's giving you one of the sides. So one of the sides is 8, okay? It wants you to work out what D would be. Now don't get confused by the letter D. Okay, it just means what is this length, okay? So let's have a think. Going back to what we've just done here, if I know that I have to times the 2 sides together to find the area, we need to work backwards. We need to do the inverse. So if you start off with your area, if your area in total is 40, okay, we've got to think what 2 numbers here times together to make 40. And if one of them's 8, okay, we're going to do the inverse. So imagine you've got something times by 8 makes 40. So you need to count in your 8s to see what that would be. Or you could do the inverse and do 40 divided by 8. Okay? So again, if you know your 8's times tables, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. The answer will be 5. Okay, you just write 5 centimetres there. I would always check, double check, triple check before you put your answers in. So let's have a look. If this was 5, does 5 times 8 make 40? Yes, we've just proved it in 2 possible ways here. Okay, that's how you do those ones. So your job now is to head over to My Maths. This is what question 1 looks like. And again, every time you refresh it, you will have different shapes. So here, okay, we haven't got any trapeziums, okay? But it all works in the same way. You've got to work out the area of A, B, C, and D and put your answers there. And then for number 2, you've got some different shapes. Sometimes you have to work out the area. Sometimes, like the one we've just done, similar one here, but with different numbers, the area is given for you, so you have to work out what one of the sides is. Okay? You are all aiming for 100% on this task, as this is purely a revision lesson. Okay? So, have fun with this, and I'll be back tomorrow where we are moving on to something a little bit more challenging. Okay? Have fun.